We're going to be going to a land before time. Today, we're looking at the dinosaur race, the Saurian.
Welcome to the Home Brew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Sean, and today we're going to be going over the Saurian race.
Yeah, and there's an interesting story behind the actual thing of how we found this one. When we first started Home Brew Crew, which is actually longer than a couple months ago, we were looking for a class and a race to do, and we didn't even really have the channel up and running.
I don't even think D&D Beyond was really up and running.
No, it was like just starting, and we really didn't have any resources to actually do this, so we found the Pugilist class on, I think, DMsGuild.
I still think Pugilist, but
there's always an argument to this day. But we essentially found it from a guy named Benjamin Huffman.
Right, and we found it on the DMsGuild, and we thought it was a great class. It's essentially what the Brute is now in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, and it's interesting, we never got around to doing that video. Mm-hmm. And up until now that we've gone through all these other videos and stuff, we found this on DMsGuild by Benjamin Huffman.
By the way, if you think our videos are long now, that one was like 45 minutes.
It was close to an hour.
It was horrible.
I'm glad we did not go with that format. Yeah.
Someday maybe we'll post it. But right now, let's talk about the Saurian.
Yeah, so this is cool. If you didn't guess by the intro of the video, these are the dinosaur race. And they used to exist in the older versions of D&D as well.
Right. So we were thinking about this. I was going through different things that we could have as races because we're looking at things we'd like to play.
Looking through different monsters and stuff.
And we got to Tomb of Annihilation, and we looked at Dragonbait in there. And he's a Saurial, which is very similar to this. He is a dinosaur type.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find one of those online, and we just happened upon the Saurian race. So these are dinosaur people. They are quite strong. They're quite big. Every single one of them gets a +1 to the strength score, and there are so many little sub-races of this.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
They are medium-sized, just like anything else. The speed is 30 feet. Most of the time.
Yeah.
And they do get Behemoth Kin, which is just like the...
It's like the other feature that allows you to drag and carry things that are, larger than your size.
Right.
But your size also comes into play with the other feature called Intimidating Size. So if you ever make an intimidation check against something that's your size or smaller, you actually have advantage.
Yeah.
You have to imagine this 350-pound dinosaur person kind of like coming up to you. So it is pretty intimidating.
It's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
With them. They also get Long Memory, which is proficiency on history check skills. And it's kind of neat because each of those things are just skill check stuff.
Right.
Because you're really going to get your bulk of these things, no pun intended, because we're going into the Anklos. But you get your bulk of your stuff in your sub-race.
Yeah,
so that's
where
we're
starting with the Anklos, and it's interesting because they actually even describe the race, this sub-race as like a combat role, and very well for it because when you think of like an Ankylosaurus, they're kind of literally the tank
with
of the
that
dinosaur
club on the back of the tail,
and
with
like the shell and all the things on it. You get +1 to Constitution and Strength. You also get the club tail,
which is really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And it hits harder than some of the other claws and teeth things that you'll be getting later on for different types of these races. But the club tail is pretty cool. It's a D6 plus your strength modifier and bludgeoning damage. They also get heavy, which is cool because now they have advantage on saving throws against being moved or knocked prone.
Which is awesome. There really isn't anything like that.
They have a low center of gravity.
Exactly. They're very grounded. And then you get natural armor. So this one's interesting. If you have no better shield on your hand, you basically get a +1 to your AC. So if you do have a shield, you can't obviously stack it, but it's cool. You kind of have this backup shield if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, natural armor tends to work like that too. I mean, even the turtle have something similar to that.
Exactly.
But the cool thing is you actually have slow. Not the spell, mind you. But it is a decrease to your movement speed because you've got all this tankiness on you. They slow your movement down.
Yeah, which is thankful. The next one is the Deinonychus. Now this one, I didn't even really know what it was until we actually did look it up.
Yeah, that's true. And when we're thinking about it, this is your basic raptor. These are the things that you would figure a raptor would have. You get dexterity and charisma. Oh, I didn't realize they were charismatic. But
well, I mean, remember blue, like
God, that.
So I'm not surprised by the charisma buff.
You get the claw toe. So wow, this is international.
Right across the belly. So you get that. It's a D4 plus your strength modifier slashing.
And now this one you like too.
This is my favorite feature.
They get one called Clever.
Yeah,
I wonder where they got that from.
Exactly. So basically, once per short or long rest, you can use a bonus action, use the help action
because they're pack hunters.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't just give it pack tactics.
This
is kind of a neat thing. And then you get Raptor Agility, which is essentially the feline agility trait for the Tabaxi, where you move double your speed, and then you can't do it again until you've moved no speed.
Yeah.
You get really tired.
Yeah, exactly. You're exhausted.
I just see this one raptor going...
with the claws. With a sec. One second. Yeah.
So that's that one, and then the next one is Plesios.
Yeah. So we think of this as kind of the Loch Ness monster type of dinosaur,
Yeah.
the one that's always in the water that you might see
with
in
the
pictures
fins
and
and
movies.
yeah. So this one's kind of cool. It's your Druid base.
Yeah.
So it's got
wisdom and
strength. Plus you get swimming speed equivalent to your base walking speed, and you can breathe air and water.
Mm-hmm.
But you also get catch of the day.
Yeah, another very interesting feature. Essentially, whenever you're near any body of water, you can spend 10 minutes to catch fish, and you catch 10 fish and they act like good berries, like the good berry spell.
Yeah, so maybe it's not a druid. Maybe it's just a mock druid. They also get dark vision, which is pretty cool, which some of the other ones do not get.
Yeah,
This is the only one that gets dark vision. And then there's the, Pteradas?
The Pteradas.
Pteradas?
Basically your pterodactyl dinosaur.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. And these guys get what?
So besides getting +2 to your dex, the big thing that they get is the flight ability. Now this flight I like because you get an initial flight speed of 30 feet. However, you cannot fly if you're carrying more than half your encumbrance and weight. And whenever you're flying, you can't make attack rolls, cast spells, or maintain concentration on spells that you previously cast.
Okay, so basically you can't do anything while you're flying.
Right, you're focused on the activity of flying,
You
but
can
it's still
use the help action.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can do any other action.
Yeah.
There's more than just attacking.
But just attack, cast spells, and maintain concentration. See, I kind of like this more when it comes down to the dinosaur thing, because you mentioned the Aarakocra don't have that. But the way I see this is if you're a base, like, primal race, like we're talking, like, this thing is taking all of its effort to be able to fly.
Right,
These are the first things that rose up off the ground in this world. So it's kind of like it has to concentrate on the flying, which I think is neat. But they also concentrate on other things because they get tool proficiencies.
Yeah, it's interesting. They flavor it that a lot of Pterodas become artists and philosophers and inventors.
I could just see one philosophizing
in the
with
sky.
The wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? And then the Sacros.
Yeah, so
I don't want to say saccharine, but it's Sacros. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the ones with the big like.
And you showed me they're basically kind of like the early version of the crocodile.
Yeah.
Best way to describe it. So you get an increase to your Constitution and Strength +1. And then the interesting thing is you get this feature called At Home in Water. So your base movement speed is 25 feet, but you have a swimming speed of 30.
So you're better in the water than you are on the land.
Yeah,
which is
makes
interesting.
sense.
But you can also hold your breath up to your Constitution modifier in hours.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Meaning you just kind of sink beneath the water there.
Yeah, and you're
you
just good there.
Yeah.
And then going back to the crocodile thing, you get powerful jaws. Now, this is really cool. Basically, when you grapple someone, you can use your mouth instead of a free hand. Now, besides the fact that they take your strength modifier and damage, the most important thing to note is that you have free hands. You can bite someone with your mouth, and if you're dual wielding,
you can still make the main attack and that second attack with your other hand.
It's awesome.
Just because you got the thing in your jaws.
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
Which is kinda neat. But then you also get Scaly Hide, which I thought this was a very creative way of doing this.
Yeah.
Whenever you complete a short or long rest, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier. I've never seen something that actually just gives you 10 hit points based on a stat.
Yeah, it's interesting. So again, this one is kind of like maybe like a frontline kind of fighting class. So again, it's a really interesting one.
This used to be my favorite dinosaur growing up. This used to be my favorite dinosaur, the Triceratops.
Yes.
And the Triceras are, they're interesting. I don't know if they're the best one out of all these.
It's interesting because, we already have a tank class. So the Triceras actually take more like the spellcaster.
Like the mage roll.
Yeah, the mage roll.
So they get intelligence by 2 and strength score increases by an additional 1. So they get more to their modifiers than anyone else.
Yeah.
So they'll get a +4. On their
they get
modifiers.
+4, and they have the living fossil feature, so they actually get double proficiency with history checks.
I would hate to be referred to as a living fossil.
A little offensive, but maybe they take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But then they do get their Trihorn Headbutt, which is 1d4 plus your strength modifier in piercing damage. I noticed, too, that it's each of the different damages, like the raptor was slashing, there was blunt.
Now we have
piercing.
So you get everyone in there.
But the cool thing, too, is they get Ritualist. So they get to pick a first level spell with a ritual tag. So any tag, right? Any spell like that. Anything that you can cast as a ritual, and then you can cast it as a ritual. So it's like anything that you have that you pick for a ritual spell, they can do.
Yeah, which is really neat.
Which is nice because you don't use up the spell slot. It takes the extra time. They're very carefully planned.
Yeah.
And then the last one, of course,
you can't forget, of course, the king of the dinosaurs, per se.
With
the arms.
Little hands, yeah.
The Tyrannos. So these are actually flavored to be kind of like the leaders of the Saurian society. So with these guys, you get +1 to charisma and +1 to strength, kind of similar to the raptors, except with dex.
Right.
And then you also get Carnivorous Bite.
Now this is a hard bite.
Yeah.
This hits a lot harder.
Punch.
So your unarmed attacks with your bite deal 2d4 plus your strength modifier.
Yeah.
This is some big jaws that are there.
However, just like with the real Tyrannosaurus Rex, you actually get a feature called Small Arms. You cannot wield weapons with the heavy properties, so no two-handing stuff.
No two-handed stuff. So, but do you have to put your whole body into an
I guess
attack?
so. Even a longsword would be a little tricky when you got like half an arm working with there. You also get the Tyrant King ability, so you get proficiency in Intimidation.
Right, which is good because even on that one before it, you've got advantage on Intimidation.
Now you get guaranteed proficiency on it.
So proficiency and advantage. Ain't nobody going to be scaring you. But you also get the Terrifying Roar, which is what you heard in the beginning of this intro video.
Yeah, exactly.
I was terrified by my roar. But you can use your action to roar with rage, shocking your inferiors into submission. Wow. When you do, all creatures within 30 feet make a wisdom saving throw and be frightened of you until the end of your turn.
Yeah.
DC on the save is 8 plus your charisma modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
The usual. And then you can't use it until you take a short or long rest. Roaring that loud is very exhausting. You would probably know. So
I was exhausted for half the video. That's just how it works.
But those are all of the subraces for the Saurian. And again, this one is just so cool because each specific Saurian subrace is so unique, and it's really specced out depending on what kind of class you actually want to do later on.
Yeah, and honestly, this all started because we were looking up dragon bait. We were looking up the Saurial stuff. So if you guys have anything on the Saurial races that you'd want us to take a look at, we would love to do that too. But this is a good placeholder, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Very well balanced, very great, nice to play, good themes and styles for each class.
And it's nice if you're lacking a little bit on like the story. Benjamin actually really helps you flavor and fill in the rest because there's a nice introduction, and then each race even has a bit of flavor if you don't even know what to do with them.
Just imagine even creating a world like this, kind of like a Lost World kind of thing, where each of these tribes are fighting against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be kind of a neat little adventure to walk into. Maybe base it in prehistoric Chult. Like something like that. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, you can flavor these any way you want. If you liked what we're doing, definitely like, subscribe. You can send it, right down. I always have to go the other way. It's over there in the bottom left-hand corner or right-hand corner, depending on which way you're watching your screen. But definitely like, subscribe, let us know what you think, and if there's anything you want to submit to us, just send it to us at DMBrewCrew@gmail.com. We're going to be streaming very soon and doing some great things pretty soon, right?
Exactly, and don't forget to hit us up on our Discord as well. We are there pretty much all the time, ready to chat, and you're more than welcome to send us submissions through that outlet as well.
Right. So remember, until next time, the best campaigns are always the ones that are home brewed. So, keep brewing.